Cheers. 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 Oh, cheers. 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 Coming to you live from the Comedy Store for a brand new episode of Kill Tony. Give it up for Tony Hinchcliffe.
Fuck yeah, everybody. Here we are again. Welcome, everyone. There's a live crowd out there, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
How you guys doing tonight?
Woo!
All right, how exciting. Another fun weekend down the drain.
Yep.
What is this, 14?
Something like that. 13 or 14.
13 or 14 Mondays in a row.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've been doing it, though, for like 50.
Wow.
Sucks. I'm done with Mondays. Mondays are the worst because I have a podcast I do for 3 hours right when I wake up. So, like, last night we had a great time at the Burn.
The roast.
The roast of James Franco.
Yeah.
And we all got pretty wasted. I had to wake up, grab Starbucks, run right to a 3-hour podcast, come here.
I had a movie audition today. I had my first real, like, legitimate movie audition today for the first time ever. And I got this audition the day after the biggest roast that I've written for. I write for the roast. But that's how life works. That's Hollywood and life. And
what a great party, too, man.
First movie audition ever.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. It didn't go great.
Yeah, what happened?
It didn't go bad, but it didn't go great. Well, what it said in the thing was that I had something, I had a part, but then there was like another part that I didn't know, that it didn't say that, it's a whole thing. Crazy part is in the waiting room, I'm sitting there, actually as soon as I walked in, there's only one other guy in the room sitting there for the part, and it's Jesse Pinkman's friend, not Badger, but the other one, Skinny Pete. You guys know who I'm talking about?
Oh.
The guy that's always hanging out with Badger in Breaking Bad. If you watch the show at all,
Nope.
Great show. Anyway, so I had an interesting talk with him, and he was telling me that he actually just moved to Los Angeles, and he was based in Texas, that he was a day player, like doing extra work, booking little tiny things out of Texas. This one show's taping there. He books that. It was just for a non-speaking role. And then next thing you know, he's on fucking Breaking Bad. He just moved to LA, this guy. He goes, now I'm in LA. We're talking about, and I'm laughing like, oh my God, you're going to be able to do anything. And his response, or my response at the end was basically like, I'm fucking moving to Texas. You don't know what you're getting yourself into, man. Anyway. It was interesting. It was a great, and then that's extra pressure too. That's like the only show I watch on TV. All of a sudden I'm auditioning against the only thing that I really respect. So that was fucked up. Hello. It's a live podcast, everybody. The Iron Patriot is here, everyone. The head of security, everybody's favorite.
I got something I want to ask you, Tony.
Sure.
Today I read an article that James Franco's 92-year-old grandmother came to the roast, and Jeff Ross said a joke saying that she's going to die in 127 hours in reference to his movie of the same name. Now, were you responsible for that joke, Tony?
It's an interesting question, Patriot. No, I was not.
That's good, because I wouldn't want you to do that to Grandma.
Such a nice guy underneath that tough, sturdy suit.
It was a big week for me, Tony. My first interview this week.
Oh yes, what was that like?
I was interviewed in Canada, in Ontario, a small town in Canada, and the podcast was called What the Fuck Are They Talking About? at WTFATTA. And I got a chance to discuss some of my philosophies in depth. And I got to talk about Kill Tony a lot, too. It was great. I told the whole story of how I came to Death Squad and how I've been a fan for a long time.
I listened to the whole thing, and I passed it on to everybody to listen to it, because it really freaked me the fuck out.
Thank you.
What did you find out about the Patriot that you didn't know when you listened to
He's
it?
a deep, deep guy, man. He, he believes that... Well, I guess it's hard for me to explain what you said, but maybe you could help me out here. You believe that you don't believe in killing babies, but you believe if you were to kill a baby, that the baby's imagination would be strong enough that the baby wouldn't even know that you tried to kill it, because your own imagination inside of yourself, like your own universe inside of yourself. So you make your story out of your imagination every day, and that you won't really affect anybody else because they also do the same.
Well, I don't think you'll be in any space that you're not supposed to be in. So the way I look at it, when somebody dies, they're just disappearing from our view. That's not the one story that's going on. Like when Whitney Houston went through all that shit and we're looking at her like, oh, she shouldn't have gone on the drugs, she shouldn't have done that. It was our negative image of her that we saw that story happen. We could have easily seen a story where Whitney never did anything, never got with Bobby Brown and had a great life. But it's like, we got to realize there's something negative in us that we even see that story. I know it's crazy to comprehend this shit, but I mean, it's so hard to explain. I mean, even in that interview after I got done, I started thinking there was going to be some things that got misunderstood because it sounds kind of crazy, but
no, it's just deep. You're a deeper. I mean, you're dressed up as Iron Man, so you don't really take you as like this very deep intellectual.
Yeah.
Spiritual.
It's really been. I really don't even care about this costume. It was just all for I really want to talk with Joe Rogan about philosophy, but...
And that brings me to this direct
God.
message that you sent.
Is that what you're using us for? Is that what this is? You're using Kill Tony as a launching pad to...
I'm just
start
saying,
your own-
though, already 3 years ago I wanted to talk with Joe, but I knew he would never talk with me unless I wrote a book and sold 1 million copies or whatever, but this was my plan, that if I get this costume, maybe people will listen to me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it says people are tweeting that I should be on the Joe Rogan podcast. If you guys are into it, I'd love to come on with the costume. Yeah, I just see that not being a thing when...
He messaged you that?
Yeah, I mean, Joe would never do that. You fucking crazy?
But what if I came out of the costume?
We don't know who you are, man. You're some guy in a suit. I mean, anybody with a criminal history, like, could put on a suit and then...
I don't know. I'm confused about my career now because, of course, I love Kill Tony. Of course, I'm going to come doing this. But people have been just suggesting that I need my own podcast, and I don't know what to do. I don't know if. I mean, maybe Red Band come down to Hollywood once a week and film me doing my stuff. I mean, the first episode could be you showing me get my equipment on, how I do it. What do you guys think that would be a good podcast? I don't know. Maybe I should just stick with Kill Tony and just.
What the fuck ever made you wonder whether you should stick with Kill Tony or
I'm
not?
just saying. People have been saying they want to hear me talk more on a podcast. Maybe I just.
So if a 14-year-old that's at his mom's house is writing you on his Android device while taking a shit that you should do a podcast, you immediately think that's a good idea.
Well, no, I mean I've got a lot of. I'm answering fan mail all day. I'm spending a lot of time. I mean I'm getting a lot of action on Twitter. I mean people love me. I could be a cult leader.
I think for only I noticed. I actually did look at your Twitter, and I wouldn't say that you have a cult following just because you have 1,000 Twitter followers.
But that's only in that's only like 3 months.
Well, yeah, from working with me.
I know. I give you guys credit. I love you guys. Believe me. I know. I'm just saying.
This guy's already talking about jumping ship. We're at
No,
episode 13.
I said for sure I'm doing this no matter what. Even if I had 5 more podcasts, I'm going to be here till the end of time. Till this shit ends, I'm going to be here. Don't worry about that. I'm just saying.
Thank you. Well, there you go.
I was just thinking maybe if I had another... I mean, I can't believe you're even worried, Tony. You know you're my favorite.
I don't think I am. You just said you got the suit
No.
to talk to Joe Rogan.
But let me make an issue with you. Let me make an issue with you. When you were on the Joe Rogan Experience, you didn't talk anything about Kill Tony. You didn't even mention me. I thought there'd be like 10 minutes.
Of course, why would I do that when I could talk about philosophy? That's your fucking dream. That's what I was doing. We were talking about planets.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it was good. I'm just saying, I showed you how to do it in that interview this week.
What? What the fuck is going on? Is this serious?
This is
is
what
this
I'm
all
saying.
real or is this
No, that's what I'm trying to tell
Listen
you.
what I'm saying. There were a lot of people watching that Joe Rogan Experience that don't know about Kill Tony. And I know Joe doesn't like to plug shit. But it seems like there's a lot of people that if you would have shown a video or something or so to get them interested, we could have got a lot of new... And we're doing fine. I'm just saying, you know...
Yeah, we're doing fine. And then we'll get on it again because it was an interesting...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved you on there. I don't want to rock the boat or anything. I'm happy.
Well, you have rocked the boat tonight.
Yeah.
No.
We're going into this show with an interesting outlook on. If you don't know, the Iron Patriot told us at one point that he bought the suit to come here and be part of Kill Tony, and he takes the bus here every day and night because in his suit, this $5,000 custom-made suit from what country?
Norway.
From Norway, he can't sit down. So the reason that he takes the bus is because he has to stand up to get here.
Yes. The middle section's made of ABS plastic, so it'll break if I sit down. But it's nice because it's nice and light, and I can move around it. And, I can get the hips going sit like this.
Well, I'm glad that you're here, Patriot, and he's our head of security, even though he's completely immobile in that thing. And he really can't move at all.
Yeah. I could crack your skull with this fiberglass, though, Tony. You'd be suing me with your lawyer. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Oh my God. Whoa. Oh, Jesus. All right, let's get this show started. Tonight's guest, I'm so excited about this one. One of my favorite comedians. Somebody who I'm very happy to have made friends with, working with a lot with the Death Squad in the past year or so. And you know him from Doug Loves Movies. His movie Super High Me. It's the one and only Doug Benson, everybody. Is here. What?
I've got so many things, questions.
I do too.
Are you doing a question for me?
Yes, I do.
Let's start it off. Here we go.
I did some research on you, Doug.
Oh, good Lord. How can you read in that costume?
The first thing I did was I went on iTunes and listened to your podcast, Doug Loves Movies. And then I went back and listened to an Adam Carolla podcast with you that was so old you guys mentioned MySpace. And the thing that I want to ask you is, one time Adam said that he thinks all the Cheech and Chong movies suck. Now, the way I look at it is the first one, Up in Smoke, in '78, that was a
Yeah, walk
classic.
us through all of them.
The other ones weren't that good.
You know everyone in this audience is waiting to get up and tell a joke? They are just putting up with your bullshit
I'll never get the chance to
just
talk to you
because
now.
you're a genuine superhero. You'll get a chance to talk to me again. Are you kidding me? We're going to do the Rogan Show together.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Doug.
Can you see what I'm doing with my head?
Doug,
You can see through that thing?
Doug, I have an idea for a movie for me and you.
Oh.
Because first you had Super High Me. This one could be
Sure.
called Superhero Me, and you spend 30 days with me. We go to nightclubs, we go to the mall, we go eat, we do everything, we smoke down.
You know, I'm too high to say no to that idea. So I think we should talk about it at another time.
We should.
There's about 10 minutes each day. There's a 10-minute window where I'm not high. And then I'll give you the no during that period of time. Because that does sound pretty sweet. I actually have a movie coming out hopefully in the next year or so called Chronicon. And that's where I went to Comic-Con in San Diego and tried to get superheroes to smoke with me. And many of them are straight edge. They're not like you, willing to smoke down, as you say.
Yeah.
And so it's a fun little documentary that will be out soon.
Great.
Someday. Sorry, it's too late for you to be a part of it.
Yeah, but we can do other things
You
together.
would have been perfect. All right. Well, your plans scare me, and I don't know what to how to respond to it. Why not just bring all the parts to the costume in your car and drive here and then get into it here. Then you don't have to take the bus.
Well, I mean, I could do that, but it's really easier, especially now because the traffic isn't bad at all now that the summer's over. But I just get on the bus, and once I get off, I'm ready to go. You don't have to go through all the bullshit.
You're telling me you don't have a car.
No, I have a car. I have a Nissan Versa, brand new one, 2012.
Or just get a car with a sunroof and just lay yourself in there horizontal, just sticking your head up out of the sunroof and working the gas and the steering wheel. I think you could do that.
If I go to the
Be an amazing visual.
That would be great.
But anyway, you're awesome.
Thank you. I knew you liked superhero movies. I knew you would appreciate me, Doug.
Would you be interested in seeing Doug's feet?
If he wants to show me again.
Again?
Oh, again?
Wait a second.
I usually like the ladies' feet, but he's a celebrity. I'll check his out.
Jesus Christ.
I don't need your fucking comedy patriot
Let me say something. You know one of the favorite scenes that I saw feet in that I loved was Bridget Fonda and Jackie Brown. Did you ever see that scene?
Oh, she is hot in that. She's got augmented breasts in that, and she is hot. And then she gets shot in a parking lot. It's awesome.
Oh man.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Uma Thurman in Kill Bill, no thank you.
No, weird long.
Yeah, her feet could wrap around, her toes could wrap around your neck and strangle you.
Oh,
Did you
bad,
know that?
Bad. Yeah, bad.
She's got nasty
Doug,
toes.
do you like feet?
Huh?
You have a foot fetish thing.
No,
too,
no.
don't you?
He's mentioning Tarantino, who I've noticed has a foot fetish that I don't appreciate because he does it too. He introduces most characters with their feet or their shoes. I love Tarantino, but come on, man.
I agree with the foot thing.
Yeah.
That's one thing I could deal with less of.
And I don't need to see the POV shot from the trunk anymore either. We get it. Something's in the trunk. Yeah.
Are they ever going to make the movie that tells us what's in the briefcase? What's the gold glittery thing?
No, it's just fucking with you, like, for all time.
Is it the Raiders of the Lost Ark statue?
Yeah, that's what it is, Brian. Is that thing hanging there? All this stuff, is it always here?
No.
No.
For Kill Tony, it's got a very Asian,
Yeah, it's a different set.
Chinese restaurant vibe
Exactly.
tonight.
Exactly.
So hopefully some of you will have jokes about that. And I'm excited to do this.
I noticed that some of the best guests that come on are always the people that I notice that like love comedy the most. You know what I mean? Like actually.
Yeah, you bring comedians on that don't like comedy. That's just
Right.
going to be a lot of bitter acrimony.
Right.
But this is going to be happy acrimony.
You're a guy who likes talking. That I've noticed at least from getting to hang out with you a bit that you like talking shop and you like the whole thing of it. So.
Yeah, why is it called Kill Tony?
Just to be a name of a podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because you could have gone with Shop Talk. Shop Talk with Tony.
Shop talk.
Yeah. STWT. Let's do it. No, but Kill Tony's
Shop's
good.
a weird word.
Kill Tony's good because you think that some of these people are going to be angry at you that we're judging them.
Could be.
Okay.
Some
Could
have.
be like that. Could be kill Tony. Like you try to kill. Could be nothing.
Yeah, it's got two meanings, really.
It's like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction. It could mean anything. You can use your imagination.
I admire how Comedy Patriot can lay back like that. Like, he's not pushy. He doesn't jump in when he's not being spoken to.
No, Tony already spoke.
What did I just say?
I got a squirt bottle.
That was rude. I apologize.
You can be rude with me anytime, Doug. It's fine.
Oh man, this is good stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you say we get it started, shall we?
Yeah, let's do that.
Everybody gets 60 seconds. They come up, maybe they do new material or old material or whatever, and
How about Gone in 60 Seconds with Tony Hinchcliffe?
That's interesting. I've heard
I'm kind of an idea man.
And at 60 seconds, you will hear the meow of a cat. But then, that's the angry bear.
West Hollywood Bear.
The angry West Hollywood bear. And that comes out if you go too long over that. Now, it used to be like 10 seconds, and then I noticed after a few weeks it became like 5 seconds, and then I noticed lately that Brian just loves throwing this bear out like right afterwards.
It's a good sound.
Yeah, and also, seriously, it's 60 seconds. Just quit after 60 seconds.
Right.
Why is anybody going long?
Right.
That's not how you establish yourself in this business, by running the light.
Right.
It's when people start to go, oh, this guy better... You know, if you're really hilarious, you probably get away with anything. But, you know, if you're struggling, you don't want to be that guy.
Exactly.
You don't want to be a light runner.
Exactly. Oh yeah, what's that? I don't even know. He's just playing a song.
Sexy.
That happens if you kill for the entire minute and then run the light for... What if there was somebody
Some
that
mellow
just did
jams
like
come
2
on
hours?
if you kill?
What if there was just a prodigy that we just all sat here and watched for 2 hours? Just let him go. Could happen. Who knows?
Yeah. Eddie Murphy started here.
So let's get it started. We got
He didn't
tons
start
of...
here.
He didn't start here.
No, he's East Coast.
But he did work out Raw.
Oh, he did shows here. Sure.
All right, your first comedian tonight's name is Brian Moreno. Keep it going. It's Brian Moreno.
What's happening, everybody? So I'm dating this girl right now, and we've been in a relationship for a long time. We've kind of gotten in the groove where we get along best and have the most fun when she's asleep. She's quiet, and she's usually not crying. Like, thank God for that. And the complaints are so much less. It's like I tell her all the time, I'm like, sweetie, I love you, girl, and I will marry you tomorrow if you develop narcolepsy. But the thing is, I've had a lot of unsuccessful relationships. Like, I used to date this girl, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, but just from the side. You know, from the front, you're like, God damn. She'd always be like, baby, when we make love, why don't you look me in the eye? I'm like, girl, I do. I totally do. Just one at a time. All right, guys, Brian Moreno.
Yeah.
Walking in at 52 seconds, Brian Moreno. Talking about... Now, was the girlfriend's... I was a little confused at the beginning part. Was the girlfriend sleeping or is she not sleeping?
No, we have the most fun when she's asleep. I think I rushed that a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, she's not talking, she's not doing any of those, but she's also not having sex with you when she's asleep. Or maybe that's where the joke should go. Is that she's a very heavy sleeper. So that's when we have our best times. Because she doesn't say anything and the sex is incredible. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But that might also... My overall note to you was just like, it just seemed like, women. Like, it just seemed like angry at women too much. Like, are you in a happy relationship in real life?
It depends.
Okay, well, so if that's honest, if you're honestly talking about your girlfriend, that's one thing, and 1 minute maybe wasn't representative, but it just felt to me like you lost all the women in the crowd immediately with just kind of like, women, they should just fucking go to sleep. Which I agree with, but that's not the point of this exercise. The point of this exercise is to, make it stronger for general audiences, because that's what you have to do, unfortunately. You don't get to perform for fans right out of the gate. Once they already like you, you can get away with anything.
Why are you staring at me?
Because I thought I'm supposed to turn to you and get your thoughts as well. Isn't this like American Idol?
No, it's not really like American Idol. It's like it's different because
you're right. That show had 3 panelists in some sort of talent competition.
Right,
and this is way different.
No, it is because we try to help him.
And we drink vodka instead of Cokes.
According to the layout of the show, he gets to take whatever we give him. They don't get that on
They take it.
Yep.
What do you mean they take
They take it. They're like, hey, you should sing more up-tempo numbers or wear a shorter skirt, and then the next week they do.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with what you said.
I think that could be part of the show, is that he could take those notes and come back and kind of do the same material again next week, but fixed or better or whatever.
Punched up. I like that tag, and I could work something in about dating a girl who's in a coma. I don't think I could do it, but we could probably have some really, good times. Something about a girl in a coma.
Yeah. Like she,
workshopping, but yeah.
She doesn't eat too much, it's all intravenously, etc. Yeah, I think you're on your way, BM. That's what I call you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
There he goes, Brian Moreno. That's at Brian Moreno21 on Twitter for you listeners. If you have any tags or anything crazy you want to tweet at Brian
That'd be great.
Moreno.
Tweet him some stuff to say, but don't tweet him shit you've heard somewhere. Like, make sure it's original.
Right. That's at Brian Moreno21. Your next comedian's name is Luke Schwartz.
everybody. Hey, Doug. Do you ever like know just instinctively that you'll be bad at something? Like the other day, I was in the shower and I bumped my elbow, like not that hard, but I still went like, ow, you know. And I'm just fucked in the zombie apocalypse. Like that is not gonna go well for me. My friend is really excited for it. Actually, he said like, I can't wait for the apocalypse. It's just gonna be like camping, but we're gonna kill the undead. Like that's what it's gonna be like. How could you, that's not what it's gonna be like. I've seen those movies. That just, I don't want to do any of that. That looks exhausting. That's like terrible to do. This is going great. Also, the apocalypse could happen. Like we're running out of like space to live. We're running out of food. We're running out of like drinking water. It's crazy. Like we're gonna, in like years, we're gonna have to tell kids like, look, I know you haven't had a drink in like 4 days, but long showers were just amazing. Like I just sit there.
Oh, gee. They're really one on top of the other. Why not just have one and they have to shut up? Cut their mic
I
out.
thought I did shut up.
No, you did it.
you're fine.
You did it perfectly.
In my head, though, the cat shouldn't be by himself. He wants to hang out with the bear.
Yeah.
Wow, you have a whole world going on over there, huh? You got your own little zoo.
Sorry about that.
What were you talking about, Luke?
It was, that's also a great idea. Let's get stoned first and then tell people what we think of. It's like a memory test. What did he even say? But you know what? The better stuff is going to stand out. And I think that you were like super premise heavy. Like I thought that you had ideas, but not incredibly strong punchlines. And this is going great. Like it gets a little like laughter. Like everyone kind of like relieved that you're pointing that out. But also, try to trudge forward without having to without that disclaimer. Unless something specific happens, like if you hear somebody yawning, then by all means mention that. But when they're not laughing, it's kind of hard. It's you already know what I'm talking about. How many sets have you done in your life?
I've been doing it 3 years.
Yeah, there you go. So you already know that. That like when you're not getting laughs, that it's better to not point it out, right?
Sometimes I get away with it, and sometimes I.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it'll turn the tide, but when you only have a minute and a bear is approaching, I understand the impulse saying this is not going great. But like on Star Search, which I did a million years ago. We only had 2 minutes, and like nobody ever says, "Oh, this isn't going well" out loud. You just kind of have to pretend that it's going well sometimes.
Your zombie apocalypse thing too. Like I get it, what you were trying to say. Like you hurt yourself in the shower, and you're like, oh, with the zombie. That the connection there is not really as clear. It's not like because in the zombie apocalypse, you're just like, I don't know.
He just gets hurt easily from fighting zombies.
Right?
Like,
yeah, I know, but
quit it.
I could understand if it was like football, or something like that. But zombie apocalypse seems so odd to say.
What were you trying to? What's the point of it?
Yeah, what were you doing? And also, Iron Patriot, don't wave your arm around when the guest is announced because they always have to dodge it. They always, like, the first thing they have to do, which does not normally happen in comedy clubs. You don't normally have to run from a plastic arm
You're right.
as you're approaching the stage. I mean, it's weird enough that you're just standing there the whole time. That never happens in comedy clubs. I mean, not in the what?
On American Idol, you don't see me either.
That's true.
Well, let's go through all the places we don't see you. Disneyland. The Empire State Building.
I think the Patriot works next to the stage because it's like a blatant. There are distractions at comedy clubs. There's really not. I mean, other than the ever approaching bear. I feel like.
Speaking of distractions, what would happen if you tried to get on a plane in that? Would that work? Could you?
No way.
You couldn't do it, right? What if you took the faceplate off? You could see his face.
I could stand on the plane.
Oh, that's why they wouldn't let you on a plane right there. Sorry I brought it up. What were you saying, Tony? That was the stupidest question I've ever asked. And by ever, I mean, in the last couple hours.
Right. Oh, fuck.
What were you saying?
I forget.
Yeah, I would say just tag it up if you're going to keep that story. you know, like Doug said, there's a lot that's heavy on the premise, but
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
my
really
problem.
a joke.
Yeah, you know, just
So just make it funnier in general.
yeah. Oh, that is a great idea. Could it be funnier next
Yeah.
time?
What are you saying in it?
Any jokes and then it's
Yeah, once you get those jokes in there, you're home
golden,
free.
yeah.
It's ridiculous how people respond to jokes as opposed to
Dramatic
just
laugh.
worries about apocalypses. But no, I think you've got the the talking and the premise parts of it down. I just think you need punchlines that like say a Brian Redband could understand. Because he thinks you should change it to football instead of the zombie apocalypse.
instead of like
Like you should
little
be doing
hurting,
something more dangerous to
but I don't
equate.
do anything.
Yeah,
dangerous.
I appreciate your comedic exaggeration, whereas Brian likes more of a realistic approach.
I'll meet somewhere in the middle, maybe.
That sounds great. We'll see you there.
Bye.
There you go, Luke Schwartz. He did not leave a Twitter handle.
No, do you even have a Twitter, dude?
No.
Get a fucking Twitter.
Sorry.
That's how you learn how to write jokes. Write a joke on there, nobody retweets it. Maybe it was terrible and about the zombie apocalypse.
Your next comedian actually is an employee here. I know him. His name is Josh Martin, everybody.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Josh.
Oh, thanks. I want to make it in life, guys. I really want to make it. I want to be famous. I want to be rich. That's what I want in life. There's only one thing I want more than that, though. Is I want to be a man. Like, I'm not a man right now. I'll know the day I become a man is when my marshmallow to cereal ratio changes. Because there's way too many marshmallows in my cereal. It's like all marshmallows. Because I just eat a bag of marshmallows for breakfast. That's all I do. I don't even eat cereal. That's all.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That's solid.
Wow. Powerful.
Yeah.
Josh Martin. At Josh Martin Comic. Holy moly.
That was great.
Yeah, that was really fun. Yeah, my mind was going with the marshmallows and the cereal because I was thinking about being a youth and like with Lucky Charms or Count Chocula, like liking the marshmallows so much more that if a bowl had the too many of the just whatever you call that other stuff,
Yeah.
the grains. If it had too much of that, like I'd be bummed out by it, and so I thought that's kind of where it was going. But then the fucking no, I just eat marshmallows, and maybe that's it. Maybe like say when I was a kid, I grew up at a campfire. like your childhood home was a campfire or something. Marshmallow joke.
Right.
Nobody. Okay, see, like even the experts can't agree.
You could also go with some kind of
Extroverts.
like looking forward type of thing on it. That like you're fearing the day when you pour cereal on top of your bowl of marshmallows or something like that. Like as a condiment.
Yeah, maybe an old
Some people,
old person cereal that
Yeah,
like where you to get you regular because
Yeah.
you're too clogged up on marshmallows.
Yeah. Like I picture like. You know how some people might put marshmallows. Well, maybe marshmallows isn't a good one. Like I don't feel like people don't independently put marshmallows in cereal, but like they do put some shit on cereal.
Strawberries,
But it
bananas.
just paints a
bananas.
funny picture sprinkling Cheerios on a bowl of marshmallows. I don't know.
Maybe.
Something.
Remember
I don't know. That might have been perfect enough that we don't need to help it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's so great. I mean,
Is he like that solid week after week or
No,
what's-
definitely not. No, Josh. Definitely not. I've
I
known
made
Josh
the big mistake
since,
to do the same joke 2 weeks in a row, and they killed me.
Yeah.
Doing the same joke.
Well, it is called Kill Tony, but did you change it at all?
I did change it, but they still.
They didn't recognize the change or appreciate it.
Well, we haven't heard the change. You changed it for the second one?
Yes, I did change the wording, and you're like, why would you do the same joke twice? You're
Wait,
dumbass.
Can you run
How
that
much-
joke by me both times right
I
now?
don't remember.
Is it too? You don't remember? Well, that's
you don't
that's
remember
another
it?
tip I'm going to give you as
Oh, it was about dick
another
pills.
pot smoker. Remember your material.
He doesn't
It
even
really
smoke pot.
helps.
I don't even. It's
Oh, I thought I smoked with him outside. He was just standing around.
Yeah.
You know what? So maybe that's another note to you. Don't inhale near me. Because then you might remember a joke you told twice on this show, and now you can't
It was about
remember
dick
it once.
pills. I remember now. It was about dick pills.
Dick pills?
Yes.
And what was the change?
It was a change in the wording of the setup.
Okay.
I don't remember the old way. I just
So was
remember
it
the
enough
change.
for them to notice the difference? That's the key. Is you want to at least come back and like
Right.
let them notice the difference.
You don't even remember what the change was.
I don't remember.
You know what? But maybe you could tie the two pieces together by saying, "I wish they made dick pills in marshmallow flavor."
And then you.
Oh, that did get a laugh, but I got a oh. But that's that's part of the thing. Is start to figure out ways to like do callbacks and build jokes on top of each other and segues and all that, which you can't do in a minute. But I like that. Tony's drawing the next name already.
I love it. No, I think that's the best bit. I've known Josh. I actually a long time ago. I helped him.
Oh,
get
you
a-
used to babysit
a
him?
job here. What was that, like a year or two ago?
About a year and a half ago, 2 years.
Yeah, and I liked him when I first met him, so I helped him get a job here, and that's definitely the best bit I've ever seen you write or perform. So,
Yeah.
congratulations to you, John. Reaching a new height. I think you actually made me laugh. His Twitter handle is @JoshMartinComic. Do you have any ideas on what you might do?
Let me real quick, just a thing with the Iron Patriot,
Yeah.
Comedy Patriot. Can you put your hand up on your forehead like a salute? Can you reach that? God damn, you're like a bodybuilder. You're like The Rock. He can't scratch his own forehead.
It's all the steroids I've been doing.
All right, well, because if he could do that, I thought that'd be like a fun way to like whenever he likes a set, give them the salute.
Can you try it
Can
again?
you do a thumbs up?
I can do this, I can do this, I can do
Can
this.
you do a thumbs up like I just asked? There you go. Do that.
Okay.
Only the ones you like, and you can be as harsh about it as you want.
I will.
Remember picking up the marshmallows though, and then like the first couple bowls of the box would have like so much marshmallows in your bowl. Then that last bowl there was like 1 or 2 marshmallows.
Yeah, the grainy ones they would sink to the bottom. Yeah, it was a bummer.
I like the Lucky Charms.
Me too.
Your next comedian's name is Jem. Everybody, it's Jem.
GEM.
Hi, my name is Jim, that's G-E-M. I recently was evicted. Got me thinking about when I was living in England. That's where I had the longest permanent residence of 48 months. Mostly because even in England, they don't evict you from prison. I've been watching a lot of the Orange and Black recently, also known as the Los Angeles bus system. Yeah. I haven't been going up because I've been dealing with the eviction for the last 2 weeks, so I'm a little rusty at this. I mean, not rusty like if I penetrate you, I'm going to give you tetanus. Chlamydia, yes, but just because the antibiotics didn't take. So what I'm saying I want to get over is 248-952-7290 is my number if you need some medical cannabis. Please feel free to call me. 248-952-7290. That's GEM. Thank you very much.
So you never intended to do stand-up comedy. You just faked it until you got to the phone number to call for cannabis.
I'm calling for a
Was that
a West Hollywood band. Because now you have to make me fucking edit out a fucking phone number and make me do work.
Oh, poor Brian.
Is that a real phone number?
Thanks a lot, Dick.
Well, it's turned ugly. What is? So you keep standing there like you're looking confused. What did you just do? Did you
I
attempt
guess I
some
fucked
jokes?
up.
You attempted some jokes.
I did 3
and
jokes,
put in a
and then
phone
I
number
put in a
for
phone
a
number
place
for
you
weed.
actually work for.
No, that's my number.
Oh, that seems like a great idea.
Your home number?
Well, I only have a phone. I mean, I don't have a home,
I mean-
so I got evicted. So I don't, I want to sell some weed so I get a new place to motherfucking live. You know what I'm saying? You hear what I'm saying? I mean,
Now I'm getting it.
Okay, cool.
Jesus, don't yell at
I did
me.
like your movie though, Super High. Me. That was some
Security,
good
Comedy
shit.
Patriot.
Patriot.
It was much better than that guy that took your idea, did that super size me thing. That got Morgan Spurlock just stole your idea. It was much better than that.
That's
Thanks.
a fun
All
twist you put on that. But
Yeah.
seriously, if someone calls you at that number and
They can buy some
you will
weed.
sell them weed, but you're not
Absolutely.
a dispensary or
Why am I
it's
not? Of
legal.
course I'm a dispensary.
You are?
Yeah, anybody that needs weed, I'll dispense it to them.
This guy really got into his stride during the back and forth portion. as opposed to the actual stand-up.
What if somebody that listens to this, because people around the world listen to this?
I will ship it anywhere in the United States. Ship it out right there. I mean, how are they going to catch me? I don't have anywhere to live, so I'm just roaming the streets, you know? They call
But do you
me.
want to be a stand-up comedian?
Huh?
I mean, all they would have to do if they did.
What do you mean? I'm standing up here. I'm making you laugh even. Come on. You're laughing out there.
I'm kind of laughing at
Why are you
at what
saying
I'm
that?
thinking
Why are
about
you
what
saying?
you're saying.
Why
But
are you saying that though? Really?
I'm just saying.
You didn't like either one of those 3 jokes? I did do 3 jokes.
Doug,
You did. Let's let the Patriot handle this.
Doug, a little backstory on this guy. He went to jail for 2 years for selling Molly over in Europe.
35 months actually.
See, I thought there was some truth to that story, and that's why the first thing I asked you is what the fuck would just happen, like because I don't know what's real and what isn't. And you guys have seen him before?
Yes, many
Yeah.
times.
5th time.
I don't know if it's many times. I think
Yeah.
has it been twice?
5th.
Three or four.
What?
5th
He
time.
says 5 times, Tony.
Jesus Christ, Jen,
Yeah.
we got to take a break with you, buddy. I didn't know that was
Yeah.
happening. I don't think anybody's ever gotten on.
Oh, it can't be the same person week after week after week?
And you don't use this.
I've been
show as a
skipping weeks.
commercial.
I've been skipping weeks though.
You don't use this show as a commercial, man. You don't give your phone number out because I have to edit it out.
Yeah, real bummer.
I mean, there's like responsibilities.
Or
I have
because
to
he
take.
might leave it in. You'll get some fucked up calls if he leaves it in.
Well, yeah, half of the
Like
ones that
people-
just fucking
leave it in.
start
I
screaming
know.
his phone
That'll be
number.
good.
He's saying leave it in because he knows it might be somebody who wants to buy some.
Yeah, I got some weed,
But it
you know,
doesn't sound
basically.
terribly legit. It doesn't sound like
You know what I'm
if
saying?
you're
I got
doing
some
it over the
weed. You
phone
know,
that
if you want to buy some weed, is what I'm
doesn't-
saying.
yeah,
I mean,
but
I'm
sorry to
getting
tell you
through
Yeah,
that.
that's not.
I know.
That's
I
still
know.
not legal in
I
California.
know.
Just
Whatever.
Doing it that way. You got to start a dispensary.
Thanks for wasting my time.
There he goes, everybody. Jen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jam.
Selling pot, obviously. Really hot stock right now to get in the pot selling market.
It just
in,
reminds me of that
LA.
expression that I now think is absolutely true. They can't all be gems. That's what people say.
So
Like
true.
that's a standard line when the joke doesn't work.
Oh, I know this lovely lady. I do believe this is her first time performing here. Her name is Courtney Mollet.
Hello. So I've noticed a lot of people in this town are flakes. It's like all my friends keep telling me that they're gonna kill themselves and then they don't. So it just like how am I supposed to trust them after that? You know? Also, I'm from like a really, really small town where pretty much everyone is related. So it just makes me wonder, like, is it still incest if it's your 6th cousin in a row? No. I guess after like the 4th and 5th, you just kind of stop counting. Okay. Also, my boyfriend just dumped me while I was in the shower, I think to avoid an argument. So I got out anyways. I was like, I've had it up to here with you. I would say here, but I forgot to shave. So use your imagination. Thank you.
You got a little mean at the end there. A little bit mean with giving the bird to the boyfriend.
Yeah. Also, how nasty does it get when you forget to shave?
It's not that bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
How often do you shave? Just out of curiosity.
I never shave. I don't even really get hair done.
Oh, there you
See, there you go. I knew there was a reason I asked.
But yeah, I don't think that last joke worked, but the earlier ones
Totally. Yeah.
totally worked. It's it's an audience of people that are waiting up to get to come up and tell their jokes. So like it's that there were laughs at all is probably pretty
Right.
encouraging.
Right, very much so. What was that first one about again?
My friends being flakes because they won't kill themselves.
Right. I would say that's such a good premise to keep thinking of other ways other than suicide. Like if you can think about, I don't know, like other things people say that they're going to do. Or even more on the suicide thing. I'm not exactly sure. Sometimes I can think of these things on this spot.
It might have been suicide might have been a little heavy out of the gate too.
Right.
You never
Could be
know.
Easier setup.
You never know if that joke would work better a couple jokes in, but
Right.
again, this is a specific format that you'll never have to recreate in your entire career. There's never anywhere where you just do a 1-minute set, so it's a special
Right.
and just a chance to workshop it. Were you happy with it?
Well, I mean, I usually like to breathe a little bit more in between jokes, but that was
Yeah, right? Like
Yeah.
a minute, you feel like you got to rush to get it all in.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. But instead of breathing, maybe, just say something in between the jokes about, that you just sort of say spontaneously. I don't know how spontaneous you want to be as a performer or how planned out. But, like we learned earlier tonight, this isn't going great is always a hilarious thing to say between jokes. I'm just kidding. I like those first few jokes.
Yeah,
and
totally.
I just didn't buy the armpit thing.
Right, totally.
No body hair.
Right.
Oh, that's not necessarily true. There's no rules.
Just the armpits.
Yeah.
I'm a normal person.
Yeah. Also, maybe it was because what you're wearing when you raised your hand up, the audience didn't go, because they would have seen armpit hair if you had a lot of it, right?
Yeah, maybe I should make armpit hair.
No, wear sleeves. Wear sleeves.
Okay.
Yeah, you're learning the wrong lesson. No, but that was good. I like her.
Okay.
You're
Courtney
friends with her,
Millet.
Tony? How do you know her?
Here's a past ding donger on the Ding Dong
She
Show.
used to be a ding-donger? What, is she not crazy enough to stay a ding-donger? Is that what happened? Wow, this girl's kind of normal. Get her the fuck out of here. She doesn't even need to shave her pits. We don't need that.
That's
We need
hilarious.
some hairy pit weirdos who like to drop dogs.
She's at Courtney Mollet on Twitter with a K, KORTNEYMOLLE.
She's very funny.
Your next comedian is Norman Towns.
Alright, this happened to me the other day too. So, don't try to give me advice and try to encourage me when you need advice and encouragement too. There was this guy that I was talking to, he was like, hey, listen here, man, you can do anything you want to do in this life. Like, anything you want to do, all you have to do is shoot for the stars. Just shoot for the stars. He's like, all right, hold on 1 second, please. Everybody, hands and feet inside the ride at all times, please. And pull over the top for emergency exit. But like I was saying, just shoot for the stars. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, so like, what do you do? Like, why are you here? He's like, sometimes when you shoot for the stars, the gun gets jammed. And you really don't go where you're supposed to go. And I was like, all right, well, I guess that's how it's supposed to go.
That's funny. The gun, sometimes the gun gets jammed.
Is that it?
Yeah, I can keep
Okay,
going.
no, I just didn't hear any bears or anything, so I wasn't sure.
I was like,
Because we wouldn't normally jump in and start talking while they're still doing their
Right.
time, right? But I would say, like Tony responded to the shoot for the stars gun is jam part. So maybe the whole thing about it turns out he's a guy working in an amusement park that seems maybe a little bit convoluted. And also it reminded me of Maria Bamford's joke where the girl from high school is being really condescending about her comedy, and then it ends with debit or credit. Like it turns out that she's at the Kmart or whatever.
Right.
So but the shoot for the stars and the gun jam is like that's the part that you should figure out a way to build on.
okay.
Yeah, that's a good line,
Yeah.
It's just also weird that maybe that's the joke, is how weird it is that a guy operating a ride is that philosophical and
Right.
really telling. Why is he telling you about you just met him? You're just getting on the ride. Like, why is he even telling you all that shit?
And then another funny thing is, on top of that, is he's so philosophical and he's working there, and that's his big explanation about his life with that speech impediment that you're giving that character. For a guy who sounds like that, which I don't think you even mentioned, you just say that you do it. Or, I mean, you just go right into it. But the fact that his thing is, however you say, shoot for the stars or whatever, however he said it. There's something funny in the fact that, that's his philosophy on life. So that's his end game, and he can't even say it properly,
Yeah, it's hard to give people advice when you have a speech impediment.
Yeah.
And it was a wooden roller coaster the whole time. It wasn't even one of the new ones.
Oh, double burn.
Double O'Brien.
Double burn. Not only the amusement park, it's also a wooden coaster. That's at Norman Towns on Twitter. Norman Towns.
Thank you, Norman.
Heck yeah, buddy. Interesting. Shecky Green, everybody. Shecky Green. That's a new one. Shecky Green. Uh-oh. You know what happens if a comedian doesn't show up? They get blacklisted. Got this thing worked out. That's the best reaction ever you have to ever your whole class. That's all it is he makes a bunch of sounds and the person doesn't get to do the show again.
That was intense blacklisting. I thought you had like a clipboard and a piece of paper and you cross his name out, but fucking Comedy Patriot just shot that guy down. I mean, that does, that is the name of a famous comedian, Shecky Green, so we should have seen that coming.
Oh.
With somebody playing around.
Oh, how dare they?
Yeah, comedians with their sense of humor.
I bet that guy's one of the funniest ones.
Or it was the real Shecky Green, like, changed his mind when he saw what was really happening. He wanted to reach out to the young people with 1 minute of new humor, and then saw what happened to everybody else.
I know this guy. This guy's a funny comedian out of Boston. I do believe he's done the show before. His name is Matt Devlin, everybody.
Sorry if I was a pain in the dick earlier, Tony, about getting on. I'm anxious. Alright, you can start your timer.
We already did.
If Bill Hicks killed Billy Ray Cyrus when he wanted to, I'd have had nothing to jerk off to this morning. Except for the Yosemite fire. Which I've been jerking off to since I started it. And that's the last time I ever get to tell that joke. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's worth it to give notes on such dated material or material that's going to die soon, but
Yeah, it's finished.
but that's good stuff. Yeah, and I also liked hearing you say the word "started" because it reminded me that you're from Boston, the way you said it. But two funny jokes.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting, topical, fun. I mean, it's not really that topical though. I mean, you can always replace a tragedy with that type of, the way that you say those things, that works for you, and you believe in it. That's why you're saying it. So you can always just slide in the new thing. I mean, that happens
Yeah,
today,
just say
but-
about some new things.
Right.
Like when other things happen, go up and say something about that.
And do a Nick Forrest fire.
That's Tony's advice.
There's always something terrible happening.
Yeah. Just put a new terrible thing in there. Hey, Miley Cyrus, avalanche in Norway.
The way he says it, I believe that I can almost picture him jerking off to something evil.
I see what you mean. The
I mean, look at
jerking
this
off
guy.
part. I get you now. Now that does make sense. That you could jerk off to any horrible event. Let's keep our fingers crossed that something happened.
I'm sure it will, Doug. I'm sure it will.
Can you imagine, like, oh, Sandy Hook, that kind of thing?
That was a beauty.
All right.
I got that one on TiVo.
Man, so you're ready to go super dark.
Totally.
You're not afraid.
Straight up.
All right, dude.
Thank you for your
Good luck
time.
with that. Good job.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Unbelievable, right?
Yeah. I thought I was going to offend everyone when I said that. He just ran with it.
Oh, yeah.
Got some laughs.
Trey Stewart.
Oh. Audience favorite.
He's here.
Hey guys, it's good to be here. I'm happy, if you couldn't tell, because I'm going to get my hair cut tomorrow and finally found somebody comfortable with touching my hair. Last guy I went to was terrible. He didn't know what he was doing. I should have knew he didn't know what he was doing from the first thing he said. I sat in his chair and was like, yeah, I got you. But before I cut you, there's something that you need to know. Sometimes niggas make mistakes. It's like, you know what? You're right, because I almost made one. Let me out the back of this van, because I did not think this one through. Thank you, guys.
Couple good twists there at the end. Appropriate use of the N-word. Well, it wasn't offensive in any way. It's just how somebody spoke that wasn't him.
Only used 35
Quoting somebody.
seconds.
Yeah, it was quick. You just wanted to try that one joke. Maybe figure out some ways to shave the setup a little bit because it was mostly setup. You know?
Yeah. Say the N-word more. No.
Yeah, well, maybe not say more, but like maybe more of that, you know, the way that guy talks or something before you get out of the van. But a haircut in the back of a van, I like that.
Oh, thank you.
There's nothing really to complain about.
Right.
You just need about 70 more of those, and then you'll have an act. Yeah,
I
not
love
70
the,
more, but you know what I mean.
I love the backwards hat. The charisma.
Well, now we're getting into. I haven't been critiquing people based on appearance, really.
No, I just love
The hat kind of like to me covered up the. I was like, oh, what, you know, when you brought up your hair, I was like, oh, so he's getting a cut tomorrow. Is it so? Does it look terrible under there right now?
It's a mess.
Yeah, but what if you know? Maybe the joke's funnier if you come out with that messed up hair, and the first thing you say is, you know, I'm getting my hair cut tomorrow. I don't know. I don't really like those kind of visual jokes as a general rule, but sometimes they're fun. Can you show us what it looks like under there?
Or you could say,
Sure. Let's see it.
It's terrible.
That's the worst haircut I've ever seen. No, I know how that is, though. I mean, I'm in desperate need of a cut right now, so I hear you.
there you go. If there's any barbers around,
No, I mean, it's just your own personal, you know what I mean?
Ray Stewart.
Just because you think your hair looks terrible, other people are like, it's fine, dude. Don't worry about it.
What kind of haircut do you have under there, Patriot?
I just got my hair cut last week on a film called Vatican Tapes. I was a priest.
So they cut it super short?
You know, I was just an extra, of course. Anytime I say it, you know I'm an extra. But, yeah, they cut it short, and I was looking pretty good, and I'm happy with it. I saved the money. I didn't have to go to Supercuts and spend like $25.
Or 12.
I give a $10 tip, though. I like my haircut.
You probably sweat less in that thing with shorter hair.
Yeah.
Right?
I got an undersuit specially designed so I don't sweat. It's a moisture management cool max spandex.
Some of the girls in the audience tonight want to know what you look like.
They can go to my Facebook page if they want to check out and see what I look like.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So do that. He's not about revealing himself tonight. You know, maybe the bus driver. What about, do you drink alcohol?
Once I leave the house, I don't drink a drop because I don't want to have to go to the bathroom. I make sure and go before I go, and there's no more drinking to be done.
Because of the suit.
Yeah, I can't go to the bathroom. I don't want any problems happening.
You could just have Depends on.
I don't wear diapers. I don't like that shit. I'm acclimated. I already do all that shit when I'm at home during the afternoon. I got this down to a science, Red Band.
Hey, what's up, Holly?
What are you guys doing?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Holy shit, Pauly Shore is here, everybody.
Patriot, take it easy.
Yeah, don't try to throw him out. This is his castle.
Yeah.
I told you my
asshole.
story. I told you my story.
Where are we supposed to watch?
You can
Wherever you want.
cruise
Come
through
on
in there, yeah.
Oh, awesome. Hi,
Sandy.
Sandy Danto.
Hey, dude.
Put your hands together for Pauly Shore and Sandy Danto, everybody. Celebrity guest.
Good, where are we supposed to go?
Oh, shit. That's so great. Fuck yeah.
But if you guys have any opinions about any of these acts,
Of course.
please let us know. They've got 1 minute to try their stuff out on us.
You didn't have one. Fuck yeah.
Here we go.
Comedians do 60 seconds, and then we try to tag their stuff or talk with them about it, see what's going on. Oh, this guy. Jesus Christ.
Uh-oh.
Put your hands together for Tommy Lee, everyone. He really wins on every fucking
So, my dad doesn't really approve of me doing comedy at all. He's a tough guy to please. Like he went to Princeton, then he got his master's from Columbia, got his PhD from Stanford. It means he's a dick. That's what that means. Yeah. Like, you know how hard it is to get approval from someone with 3 Ivy League degrees? Like, telling my dad I didn't get into Princeton was like coming out of the closet in a conservative Christian family. You know, just the amount of shame I felt. It's like, Dad, I'm sorry, didn't get in. You what? God damn it, I knew you were different from day one. Should have been hanging out with your Uncle Tony. Get the fuck out. That's it.
All right.
Interesting. So it's a joke about how you're disappointing your dad by not going to college.
But I get into Princeton.
Princeton.
Yeah. Very specific.
Did you go to college?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
University of Miami.
Why didn't you go to Princeton?
I didn't get in.
Whoa.
How do you get into University of Miami? You just have to write party across your forms. Big letters.
No, I just applied. I got in.
What'd you major in there?
I was a double major in economics and film studies.
Oh, wow, interesting. All right. I didn't love it. I couldn't relate to it really
Hey,
at all.
can I remind you guys what happened with him the last 2 times? The last 2 times, remember he was talking about how creepy he was, and you guys were discouraging him from that. And then he had a shirt that wasn't very good ironed. I think that looks better. I think he's making some progress with it.
You know, of course the Iron Man is concerned about iron shirts.
Right.
And
Yeah, I iron all my shit at home.
all right, don't move like that ever
Jesus.
again. But
It sounded like you were talking to like a psychiatrist or something at some point. It's like you were just really like almost doing a narration of your life. Like again, there was a lot of setup that wasn't tagged, or it was more like story based. The first
and hard to relate to. Like
Yeah.
a lot of us don't have problems with our parents because of not getting into Harvard. I'd imagine every single one of us. So so that's kind of like you either have to figure out a way to make that more accessible, or try something else. But congratulations on Comedy Patriot liking your shirt.
I guess I was just trying to play with the high expectations thing, but I guess I'm not really sure how to do that.
No, it's not like what you just did was awful. Like just keep going at it. It's just for some reason that didn't land.
Okay, cool, man.
And also he's on too much. You were like, when you pulled his name out, you're like, Jesus, how did he get on again?
Yeah.
Yes.
How many times have you gone on? Like 4 or 5 times?
Like
right?
4, something like that.
Yeah, so maybe come back and
Seems like 6.
how
or
many
7.
weeks? When can he come back? Like 2 weeks? 3?
Yeah, I think Tommy and
You got to
Jem-
come up with rules
Wait,
about
wait,
this
wait.
stuff.
Tommy and Jem have to both take a couple weeks.
Is he the same guy that the first 2 times he went on stage you didn't pay attention to him because he bored you so
I
much?
purposefully paid extra hard attention. I was able to stay in the pocket on this one, and for nothing. I mean, I really didn't end up.
Right.
I wish
It was not rewarding, but
I wish I would have daydreamed at that one as well. And
I love that you have to schedule daydreaming time during these
Right.
1-minute segments. Thank you so much. This place is amazing.
Right.
It is.
You spill a drink, and 2 minutes later, you got a new drink.
I just can't wait until you're just a couple sips in and somebody else gets blacklisted and just.
Oh my God! I don't think I'll be surprised by it again the next time.
Bobby Lee, everybody. Hey, Bobby.
Wow.
Kill Tony regular.
Bobby Lee walking out the door, everybody. In and out, Bobby Lee.
Your next comedian's name is Scott Kidd, everyone. I'm almost disappointed that you didn't.
How's it going, everybody? Hey, Iron Patriot, you said you drive a Nissan Versa?
Yes,
Is it blue?
white.
Oh, damn. Thought maybe he was the one with the Amber Alert. I wasn't sure. Oh, man.
You should be ready for when they might not say the exact response you were hoping for.
Yeah. Oh, well.
But I'm sorry to take your time.
No problem. All right, so I work in a casino with a lot of Asians, and I come across this, what is it called? One of those things that you have when you like realize something, realizations, and that's that China doesn't really have to send troops over to take over America. They can just send a bunch of hot Asian women, and we'll do whatever the fuck they want. I mean, they don't need to worry about, or we don't need to worry about dictators as much as we need to worry about dick teasers. Speaking of things made in China.
Oh, you brought up the bear. You went over your time.
Sorry.
Slow it down.
Sorry.
Everybody relax. The bear is out.
I would kind of enjoy a whole set of joke doesn't work. Wah wah.
I really
after
would.
everyone.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I mean,
That's a
I
fun
almost,
thing to say. Do.
Like, I mean, that could go either way. You could end up, that could be, you could be some, if you really stuck with that as your comedic voice and was just you floated it out there and then just, the way you did it, it was like,
Maybe also like a
like
ton
you were
of.
conducting an orchestra of wah-wah.
And then maybe, maybe you could also be the guy that doesn't remember words like realization.
Yeah, like take 30
You know, like
seconds.
it's like always take a long time trying to think of words that are, you should pretty much know that word.
Yeah.
If it's in your joke you're trying to tell, that's the last time you should be grasping for.
I say spend like 5 minutes trying to figure it out.
Brian. Brian's like he's the shitty advice.
Yeah, I'm the shitty advice dude.
Yeah. He just wants to make that bear sound. That's all he cares about. Did you only have like 3 play-on songs? Is that what's happening?
What's that?
How many songs do you have to play them on? Because
I can play
there's so
anything I
much.
want.
Yeah, play. Everybody gets a
What
different
would you
one.
like to hear?
Just anything, but it's just fun to have a different person get a song. And I thought the banjo music when the black guy was coming up seemed racist to me.
Well,
but then it turned out it was Price is Right. I didn't realize there was banjo in Price is Right.
There's bands.
It's a 70s
Can I hear a little bit of that?
Yeah, 70s Price is Right banjo.
Price is
music.
Right starts a little racist.
No, that's
Price is Right.
That's Price is Right?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe Match Game.
No, it was Family Feud.
There you go, that.
Oh, yeah.
Here comes a black guy! This didn't seem right, but he's only got a minute, so he didn't say anything about it.
Oh my god.
He was cool about it. So anyway, what you did was fun. It wasn't necessarily, I'd lose the gum next time you go on stage. And just these simple things, right, Pauly? It's the simple things. But yeah,
Okay.
keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Can I leave now?
Scott Kidd.
No, you have to stay.
Can I say something?
Oh, here we
Yeah.
go. Pauly has something.
It's just, I mean, all these people, they come up here and they're not connecting with the audience. Like, see how these guys are connecting with the audience. So the thing that's the most important about comedy is not the jokes at all. It's about you guys connecting. And you're not connecting. You're like staring up in space. Like, fuck around a little and then go into your material. Let the audience touch you, feel you, be connected to them, and then do your stuff. But don't just go into your shit. Like, that's what's great about David Letterman. You ever see David Letterman? He's fucking around a lot. He's having fun. He's connecting with people. So just try to connect and get out of your head about the material. It's not about the material. All right, who's next?
Yeah, if you have, that's a good point. If you have like one joke, that's probably only going to take like 30 seconds of your minute. So you can
It's not
kind
about
of,
the
you can
material.
ease into it. Yeah.
Get away from the material.
Good advice.
Build on the connection. I love it. Oh, that's right. I picked one. His name is Kenny Lyon. There he is, Kenny Lyon.
That's another option. No music.
Right.
Hey, Kenny.
What's going on, everybody?
Alright, a little bit too much. Look what you did. Look what you started.
I would have lost it if he spent 2 minutes connecting with the audience. I just applied that advice immediately.
A lot of people
Hit the bear, hit the bear. No, I'm kidding.
Guys, you should try to help them instead. Encourage them.
Pauly has a good point. We should be helping, not hurting.
Guys, like, making fun of them isn't going to help them out.
wait up.
It's true.
Let me tell the
like,
joke.
Support them. Here we go.
Shut up. All right. A lot of people talk bad about ruthless people. I don't understand why nobody takes their emotions into consideration. I mean, who stole their Ruth?
Or what?
They followed along.
Okay.
Ruthless people,
No,
we
I'm just
don't
kidding. It's a short
appreciate them
humor.
because their Ruth got stolen.
Lord Jesus.
Wait, what is it?
Their Ruth got jacked, so they're ruthless.
Wait, what?
some comedy's just for me. I'm the only one that gets this guy, so fucking let him finish.
Oh my god. That was the saddest fist bump I've ever seen in my life. Thanks for sticking by me, Doug.
What else you got? Or was that it?
I got.
There was the getting to know the audience part, and then the ruthless joke. It's a start.
1, 2, 3, go.
You got one more joke you can tell us?
Yeah. I bought a ticket to a rave concert, everyone. Worst decision I made, 2013. This guy by the name of David Guetta was on stage. I don't like his music. Not my kind of shit. I started yelling from the crowd, David, get out of here!
Well, I look forward to lots more pun-oriented material.
I'm glad I'm on it.
From you, man.
That's great.
Fucking love it. Every time you come on, man, I just love you. You're one of my favorite people.
Thank you, Red Band.
God damn,
Excuse me for Jem's bullshit.
What, do you work with him?
Will, what do you have to do with Jem?
You sharing a landline with him or something?
I used to live in his apartment because my mom was tripping too much, and
Save that minute for next time. That's a good story. You lived with Jem and your mom was tripping. I like it.
There he goes, everybody. Penny Lion. What's
Thanks, dude. Get out of here!
A lovely young lady. I know her. She's been doing this a while. Glad that she's in attendance. And put your hands together for the great Stephanie Simbari.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, fellas. Pauly Shore, good to see you. All right. Oh, my shoe's broken, so I'm done. I'm afraid that I'm going to lose my ability to be a romantic because I've been living in LA and fucking all my friends for too long. You know? I'm sorry, not fucking, hooking up with. You can't fuck your friends, it ruins your friendship, but you can let them go down on you, that's totally fine. But sometimes I listen to love songs on the coast, do you guys know that? I listen to it to test just how lonely I actually am. Like how many Adele songs before I just drive my car off the road. Like what? But I hate it because the woman always has that like really soft DJ voice where she's like, this is Delilah, this song goes out to Mindy from Chris. He loves you so much, you're the future mother of his children, you're a real catch, right? And then it's like blurred lines by Robin Thicke or something. But I wish it would get real. I wish she would be like, this song goes out to Mindy from Chris. Thanks for licking his balls and coming, and swallowing, even though you guys don't know each other that well, you know?
Closes on the bear.
Look, Brian, my shoe was broken, shit got fucked up.
And that's why I gave you 1 minute and 15 seconds.
I earned those 15 seconds.
That flew by. I didn't even notice the extra 15 seconds.
Because you're lost in her beauty, right?
Yeah. Well, not just that, but she, you know, you're engaging and talking about stuff that I understood and could relate to. You know,
I think she.
Pauly has something to say,
I think
Brian.
she's beautiful. I think she's got a great look. I also think that on camera, like done up, like she would look. No, you're hot right now.
Thank you.
But I'm just saying, you know, she'd be good on Chelsea.
Yeah, you're
Lately.
hot right now, fresh out of bed. What would you be like if
No, like on Chelsea lately doing the panel or something like that. Like I think she'd be good. So I think she's got something. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Right?
Sandy, what's up?
What do you think, Sandy?
Any tags or anything to that minute? Anything?
I wasn't really paying attention.
You heard, that's the second time I've ever done that joke, and you heard it the first time. And you were like, good premise, needs work.
Oh yeah.
That's what you said.
I wasn't paying attention then either.
This fucking guy.
I thought it does need work, but you just have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of threw away the blurred lines thing. Like it might be better if you just pick a song that's just absolutely inappropriate for what you just set up.
Well,
and
sometimes I like to say "Into the Mystic" by Van Morrison because that's my favorite song.
I think you got to
That's
do
romantic though, isn't
But
it?
a more relevant
as
song.
the second
Blurred
song.
lines work because it's relevant.
Right.
You
Yeah.
always got to be changing that and do a DJ. You have a deep, sexy DJ voice. You have a face for radio and a voice for radio.
So use it. When you do that bit,
for radio is not a compliment.
when you do that bit, go into a radio DJ's kind of.
Delilah.
That's what I mean.
No, but I mean, like, hey,
you were quoting her and not
Right.
doing her. You were
Right.
just saying
Right,
what she
exactly.
said. Yeah,
You
yeah.
could get into it. You know,
Yeah.
be a radio DJ.
Right.
They have a certain way that they speak. You can
Yeah.
do that.
Do some act outs.
Yeah, act
Yeah,
that.
act it out.
Act that.
Act that shit out, girl.
Yeah, the part where you're doing Delilah, it seems to be, you know, the strongest. You know, when you hit that, when you start going dirty with it, so you could really get more into the Delilah part, especially.
Yeah.
'Cause everybody catches on. They've all. That's something everybody can relate to is Delilah. For some weird reason, like it's something everybody's heard at some point.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just stuck
She
with the
must
radio.
be like 110 by now. I feel like she's been on the radio forever.
Right. I can't imagine.
Yeah, and every city has that
Yeah.
kind of station with that, where she's super serious reading those, you know, letters that
Yeah.
people send. Like, what the fuck? Somebody sends in a letter to a radio
Yeah,
station,
like, have you
an
heard of
email,
Spotify?
and it's always like, oh, I just want to let so-and-so know I love him. That guy's not fucking listening to love songs on the coast, waiting to hear a mention from his, you know, just walk across the room and tell him that you love him. Don't make him listen to a whole night of Barry Manilow songs just to get to that. So, but it's definitely a right premise.
It seems like it's something you'd want to do to somebody that you don't like or love, like throw their name out there. You know?
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
Right.
How do you? It's so radio. Like, how can you plan on somebody listening to their shout out? You know.
It's interesting.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Good
Thank you
job.
so much.
You never hear of anybody like awesome doing that. You never hear like a celebrity like, hey, this goes out to Angelina Jolie. Brad Pitt really wants you to know that he loves you. You know?
That would be awesome.
Like it's never people that are like making it. So it's sort of sad.
Yeah, it is.
You know, the shout outs and stuff. Like, oh, I just want to let you know that I love you. I know we're struggling right now financially, but he just wants to let you know via radio because it's free. And it seems nice. He's going to play probably your second
He's like,
favorite song.
come on, baby, let's listen to Coast for 2 more hours. Why do we have to listen to this shit? Don't worry about it, baby. It's just, I just really want to listen to it tonight. Because something might happen.
Because I love you. And I'll show you how much I love you by the end of the night. Your next comedian's name is Frank Castillo, everyone. It's Frank
Hey guys, how we doing? Good to see everyone. I had a tough day at work today. Mostly because I don't take my job very seriously. It was weird because my manager pulled me off the bar and he was like, hey, I was watching you when you weren't noticing it. You do an amazing job. You're really nice, you connect to everyone. What he didn't know was that I was really high. And the worst part about it was that everyone else knew. So he was like, all right, this is what we're going to do. Everyone needs to be more like Frank. So we're going to have you write a list of why you're so awesome, why you're a great employee. Step 1 was just relax. Step 2 was just fucking kick it. And he loved it. He was like, that's a great goals list. All right, that's as far as I can.
Well,
Sorry, I was like mid in the back, gonna use the restroom, and then like. I heard
Oh yeah, when you get surprised that it's
I was
your
like,
turn,
shit.
that can be frustrating. When you ran up here, and you know the room's barely big enough to get into a run, and, so I kind of knew something was up. And then Brian also, like, that's the thing that's fun about changing the song every time, is because you have to come up with some fucked up intro music sometimes. You just
Yeah.
have to deal with it.
Totally.
And that was a terrible choice, Brian. Yeah, that didn't pump them up at all. That was like the most mellow, weird thing that you played.
The Stephanie Says by the Velvet Underground.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, people love to come on to that. Hey, everybody. So I commend you for just being enthusiastic and getting through your thing. And this is a personal thing for me. I always don't like it when somebody that is at your stature talks a lot about like having a day job and real work and stuff like that, because it just sort of like you're up here to entertain everybody. You should just be a comic. But that's my personal thing. A lot of comics have great jokes about their day jobs or whatever. So, but just for me, that just kind of takes me out of it. It just makes me like, oh, well, he's not really a comic. He's got a job, you know what I mean? But that's just me. So if you can come up with a funny enough take on it, and maybe even like set it in the past, like make it the job you had before being a stand-up. So everybody relates to the fact that you had to work, but you didn't have to do it today. Because, like, we just paid to see you, man. And you just came from Staples, where you had this list of rules about, kicking it. You know what I mean? But, and also that, like, didn't pay off really, but I like the idea of it. Like, everyone should be like you is kind of a fun premise. But, like, maybe you should figure out a way to make it like your boss has no idea that you're high all the time. And then, but all the attributes of being high make for a great employee. Exactly. Yeah.
Right. And I'd also be more clear on the back end of that, which, by the way, the first thing, I agree with what Doug says about that. It just sort of feels a little bit icky, even though people do have good jokes with their day job. But you could just flip that to the past tense, because, it's still honest. And
yeah, before I started doing comedy, I had this job where...
Right.
And then you're into
where I
it.
used to work at...
Yeah.
But
just be a comedian. Don't be a guy with a job.
And on the back end of it, I don't know where you're planning to put the punchline that it's missing, but I think you lose everybody a little bit when you're talking about the list of the two things, and we don't know whether you're making the list or if they're making the list, or if it seems almost like the other employees were asked to make a list as to what makes you. It just got very confusing.
And it shouldn't just jump right to just fuck off or chill out or whatever. Like it should be like all the things that somebody who's stoned working at a job might be like. Be polite, be friendly, be laugh at their jokes. List all these things that a high person would do all of that without necessarily being a great employee. That's what you're doing when you're high. Yeah. I think you could do it, Brian. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go.
I love it. There he goes, everybody. That's at Frank C. Comedy. Frank C. Comedy on Twitter. Late Pauly.
Pauly's out, everybody.
The great Pauly Shore and Sandy Danto.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yes, what?
I almost met you in 2007. You know the Addison Improv in Dallas?
Yes.
You were going to get some food, and
Who's in that? Is that fucking Josh?
No, it's nobody we know. He's a fan of podcasts.
But anyway, I was playing videos in this place called Go Fish, and the manager told me that you came to the door. You wanted sushi. We serve sushi, but we didn't have a sushi bar, and so you didn't come in. You said you went somewhere else. But my manager told me after it was over, and I said, "What? You didn't come get me?" Because I had Pauly Shore's Dead on video. I could have played it while you were eating dinner and we had a conversation with you. It sucked. Dude, I was in a band.
He insists on having his movie played every time he eats dinner anywhere, so you were on track with that.
Just a couple comments about what I witnessed. You guys should really be, what's the word, thankful that these guys are giving you guys tips. Because back in the day, you didn't get this shit. I'm sitting here, listening to you people up here, and I think it's hard to do stand-up. I get it, but to do it in here and this, but then they give you correct, constructive criticism, and I think it's really cool that these guys are doing that. So the more people that can come here and do this, I think it'll help you guys a lot, because you're all comics, right? Yeah. Most of you guys? No? You guys just stand here?
Yeah.
Some people come to watch, but it's a lot of the audience is
you don't really get that, so it's cool that they're doing that for you guys.
Right on, Pauly.
Yeah, Pauly Shore, everybody. Thanks for coming. Sandy Danto.
At Sandy Danto on Twitter.
At Sandy Danto. And is it Pauly Shore? Pauly M. Shore?
I think it's Pauly Shore.
I mean, not only are we doing this, but they took 4 minutes out of their day to watch 3 comedians.
Right.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
It took longer than 4 minutes, but you know what I mean.
Well,
they got things to do.
As the clock rolls, we're going to roll into our final segment. This is...
Are we take off our clothes, Doug?
Wait a second. I thought it was just give constructive criticism.
No, it is. Our final segment is 2 young ladies who have basically started here about 12, 13 weeks ago and have been doing open mics and working the circuit. One of them dropped out of college and went to chase her dream of being a stand-up, and so these two girls each do a minute, and so they're the only 2 regulars, so we're just done with the bucket.
Fuck the bucket?
Fuck the bucket.
There's a lot of names in there.
What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know. I
All
feel
right.
bad. I thought we were going to go through everybody.
I wish we had that much time.
No, I understand. You guys have your restrictions, but I dig it. But let's do what you do.
I love it. Awesome. Well, as always, I'm always very excited about this. You know her from the very first Kill Tony when she was the only female in the room. And when my guest said, is there no woman that wants to do this show? She ran up on stage, and it began there. She's here tonight. At Sarah Dresses on Twitter, but her name is Sarah Mostajabi, everyone.
I'm Sarah Dresses on Twitter too. I was talking to my mom about life this past week, and she said if I wanted answers, I needed to find God. I told her the only man-made thing that ever answers me is Google. I get these like uncontrollable like urges to be in love. I call them hard-ons. I'm kind of hoping that it'll just beat itself off. But don't worry. But don't worry. It's pretty easy to get fucked. I have a PayPal account. That's all I have. That's all I have.
Did you give her too much build-up, Tony? Is that what happened?
I don't know.
No, I've had to write a new minute every.
No, you've written a new minute for all
Every week
7
since
weeks.
Every week since I started doing comedy.
Well, that's good. That's that's.
We're raising little baby assassins here.
What I'm not sure if any of those particular jokes worked. I
missed the
Right.
joke on that last one.
Yeah, I don't get why are you getting
And
fucked?
I don't know what it is. I get like nervous here because when I do this
Okay,
stuff at open
it's
mics,
okay.
it's
So my
great.
question's this.
I mean, well, it's like it works.
This is
Okay, so
different
my
than an
question-
open mic for
so
sure.
my question's this: what are you trying to say in that joke where you talk about the PayPal?
Yeah, like getting a boner. What are you talking about?
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I just totally lost you guys. No, the heart one is like I'm trying to make a comparison. Like I know that guys like you guys have these like I don't know, you have like sexual like desires that you like can't help, like it's like carnal, natural thing that you have. And we experience like a similar thing as girls, but it's like emotional and like so we do get like these uncontrollable urges to like cuddle and fucking snuggle on the couch, but it's like emotional. So I'm trying to make a joke about how that compares. And I'm just trying to write that's the premise, but that's the joke though, is that girls get boners too, but they're heart boners.
Emotional boners.
Emo
Boners of emotion.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the premise. So I'm working on that. That's why I come to you guys.
What's the PayPal thing mean?
I honestly like. I just it seriously
Don't you
takes.
about to say I don't know. I said it.
Don't
Get
know.
off my back. I said it.
I don't know. I mean, I thought everybody knew that PayPal just bends you over and fucks you. Like it's bad. PayPal is the worst thing on the
Then
planet.
maybe Ticketmaster
Yeah.
would be better, but that probably wouldn't make sense either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to
I
say
guess
about
that-
any of that.
That doesn't work. Yeah. Okay.
But you can get up and speak in front of everybody and commit to these ideas. So, and based on knowing that she's done it every week for several weeks, this might just be the off week or whatever.
Right? Oh, totally.
Sure.
Yeah.
Usually better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not a bad thing. Yeah.
I mean, it would be more. I just don't understand. Like, I don't know. I would definitely. I don't know if I would keep thinking that the emotional boner thing.
I
Unless you
honestly
really
like I
have-
write these jokes on Twitter and they do really well, and then I try to do them live, and I guess that's maybe my mistake.
Is this the Iron Patriot and you just going back and forth on Twitter all day?
No.
But if it works, sorry, Patriot. Go ahead.
When she goes into that territory where she says it's easy for her to get sex because, there's so many loser guys and she's cute. Well, no, I mean, but I think that's a good territory. There's a lot of jokes there because it's different.
I'm cute and guys are losers. I disagree,
I
buddy.
don't wanna be that guy.
No, but not you know what I'm saying, though. It's easier for a girl like her to have sex anytime she wants than a guy.
Do you have an off switch? Yeah, it is easier for her to have sex. That is the truth. yeah, she's trying to get at the the cuddling part, which you can't do with a superhero who can't even sit down.
I mean, I come here because, like, in the beginning, you guys, like, really helped me tag, like, write jokes on my premises.
And now you're,
Yeah, but that's maybe the problem here is it's hard to tag where we don't even think there's a joke there. So like, but I think that the emotional boners, that there is something to that.
Yeah.
It's just hard to, when you do men and women stuff, it's so hard to find a fresh take on it.
Right.
So make it as personal as possible, and maybe even write a couple extra lines about it. Like after the PayPal joke, maybe you should have said, "'Cause PayPal fucks you, right?" Like you should have maybe just spelled it out more.
Yeah, because PayPal.
I don't know.
Really
I did something
meaning.
similar to being like, yeah, right, like a couple weeks ago, and I was told that's fucking dumb.
Well, I agree that you can't just say yeah right about everything, because if they don't agree with you, they don't agree with you. But in the case of PayPal fucking you, you may have more of a stand on, but they may just not have figured out that was your point. You know what I mean? So, sometimes unfortunately, you have to explain things a little bit more, and other times you have to try to get rid of that. Which brings me back to Twitter. If jokes are killing on Twitter, say them exactly as written, because nothing you said today was 140 characters. Everything had more stuff to it. So maybe you just need to just stand there and just
like the Google
say
thing?
the line, say the joke from Twitter as written on Twitter, and it might work better that way too.
The Google thing, like that I wrote on Twitter, I said Google is the only God that actually answers my question, and I get a picture.
Google's the only God or guy?
God.
Yeah. For some reason that doesn't. It just doesn't land, but
yeah, I knew that would
it might
work
be.
if I said it
Some
out
things are
loud.
cuter or funnier as a tweet than they are in front of an audience. But
That's a very hip atheist tweet. A lot of people with like gothy lifestyles are like, yeah, retweet.
No,
Like totally, like Google's definitely like the only God. Fuck God.
Well, maybe Google. Google is a God that will answer your questions, or some. There's some way to tweak it, maybe, because it's not.
There she goes,
It's not
everybody.
a terrible observation.
She's at Sarah Dresses on Twitter. Sarah, most good job. And as always, our other lovely lady, put your hands together for the one and only Kimberly Congdon. Everybody.
Trying to get married, shopping, what's going on? I don't think it's fair that as a woman comic, I have to cover up more than men do, because I have to be taken seriously and stuff. People are like, "Oh, I thought you always dressed like that." No, I don't want to look like I eat Snatch. I mean, it's nothing against lesbians. I'm not a lesbian. My mom just taught me to think outside the box. I don't judge. I have slutty friends. I have lesbian friends. My friend Kate, she's super slutty. But she doesn't do anal. She's clitorally the stinkiest girl I know. Thank you. And also, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but everybody masturbates. Thanks.
That's adorable.
The toot my own horn would be funnier if a guy said it. I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I like to toot my own horn.
I like to think that she has an extended labia.
Ooh, Brian, don't talk about her labia.
You misbehaving over there.
Clitorally, I like. I just think that maybe because of the 1 minute format, you had to kind of race to it and spit it out, so to speak. But
what was the first one again? What was the first?
That think outside the box.
Right.
Yeah. That guy, a little chuckle. I mean, maybe that expression is thrown around a little too much these days.
That's for
to be a twist.
And what's the main thing that it's not?
That I dress more modestly as I look like dress up and lesbian.
Yeah, at first you kind of compared it to like you have to cover up more than guys do, but guys are completely covered up. Like we're not standing around with our balls out or whatever.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. I just don't know if that's even an issue worth addressing. Like how you're forced to dress.
Yeah.
Because I personally think for me a girl comic, lady comic should just be a comic and not be so much about because I'm a lady this. But then that's also a rule that's meant to be broken because there's times when people say hilarious things specifically about being a woman. But I'd say make it as much about being you as possible as opposed to being because it's hard enough for women comics that I think that people tune out when it's like when you're talking about being a female comic because they're strangely sick of it and yet also haven't embraced it like at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
Like the challenge is, it's a much bigger challenge for you to do stand-up, and so anytime you talk about your appearance, it has to be like the most hilarious joke.
Right.
Otherwise, it just puts everybody in their head about, oh, there's a girl on stage telling jokes. She's attractive. I can't listen to this. I can't relate to it.
Yeah. I've noticed so many of the most successful ones really dress down when doing.
Yeah, which is what she's trying to make the joke about. So it's like it's an interesting observation. So I'm not saying kill it, but I'm just saying that like it's hard to do because it's drawing attention to the fact that that you're a woman.
Got it.
There she goes, everybody. Kimberly Congdon. It's at Kimberly Congdon on Twitter with a CONGDON ending. Fuck yeah, Doug. Thank you so much for doing the show.
Oh, dude, that was so much fun. I hope that, I hope it was constructive.
Oh, totally. Totally. Instant classic episode, in my opinion. Anything you have going on that you want to promote?
Yeah, Greatest Movie Ever Rolled is on VOD and iTunes, and Doug Loves Movies. You can go for all my tour dates and stuff, and I got a ton of things going on.
That's so cool. Yeah,
just come into my world. Just be a part of me. I thought I heard is there a superhero trying to get my attention?
I think so, but
Mr. Benson, I have
Yes, sir.
I have a new nickname for you.
Oh God.
The Messiah of Marijuana.
Oh, that's not bad. I thought it would be worse, but
it's not that good at all, though. Either it's not that bad, but it's also not.
It's got
good.
alliteration. Yeah. It's probably a little long for a nickname, but I'll take it. I mean, I appreciate it.
That's awesome.
We'll talk later.
No, we will not.
Follow the Iron Patriot on Twitter. He's at Comedy Patriot. He hit 1,000 followers. Just hit 1,000 followers. I just hit 10,000 followers for the first time. My first 10,000.
Death Squad is powerful.
Yeah. And Brian and I have an amazing set of shows coming up.
Stand Up Live in Phoenix, September 26th. Go to standuplive.com. In Columbus, Ohio, we're going to be there with Tom Segura and Christina Pajitsky, and maybe a surprise. Who knows?
Yeah. No, I'm thinking about crashing that one.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That could be fun.
Just go to deathsquad.tv for all the ticket links.
It's Friday, September 27th. If you're in Winnipeg by any chance, I'm going to be there on the 12th and 13th of September. And come to Kill Tony taping anytime on a Monday here at the Comedy Store. Up next, the Ding Dong Show, the longest running show in Comedy Store history with the man, the myth, the legend, Don Barris at the helm. Thank you, everybody. Good night.